I'm going to show you guys the easiest way to make a fitted bed sheet with very easy steps. Just look how neat it looks. So first we're going to take the measurements of the mattress. We need to take the width and length measurements. We're going to start with the length measurements of the mattress. So I'm going to place your measuring tape right where I've placed it, as you can see. Then you're going to start moving around with the measuring tape lengthwise of the mattress. So this is a 60-inch measurement. Once you reach the 60-inch, you're just going to connect it and start again, meaning you're going to add 60-inch plus whatever measurement you're going to have down here. So that would be 60 inches plus 25. Next we'll measure the width of the mattress. So I'm going to start measuring from right here. I'll place my measuring tape down, then I'll start going widthwise. Then I'm going to keep going down. Then remember to add seam allowance as well. So I'm going to continue from here, then I'm going to measure down here. Add seam allowance, it's very important. Then I'll transfer the measurements onto the fabric. So this is my fabric. I have cut out a fabric equivalent to the measurements taken. But for the sake of visibility, I'll show you guys how to fold the fabric on another separate paper, because this fabric is quite big. I'll demonstrate on this plain paper how the fabric is supposed to be folded. So this is how I'm going to fold your fabric. First give it a first fold, then give it another second fold like I have done. So let's just do the same thing we did on the paper onto the fabric. So I'm going to fold it 2 times, then I'll place it over here like I have done. So once I fold, I'm going to have an enclosed part here, then I'll have 4 openings right here. So this is where we're going to start putting our measurements, the measurements for the shorter part of the mattress. So this is the measurement I'm talking about. This is the measurement we'll use for this part of the measurement of the mattress. This is like 5 inches. It's 5 inches, so I'm going to add 2 inches for sewing allowance and hemming for inserting the elastic. Next I'll place that measurement over here. So remember to add sewing allowance and hemming allowance for inserting the elastic. So I'm going to mark the measurements over here, then I'm going to mark it even on this other side, as you can see me do. Then I'm going to make some form of a square. I'm just going to connect with my ruler, then mark with the chalk like I am doing. Then I'm going to cut this out, but first let's connect this side. So guys, always remember to add seam allowance and hemming allowance. So I'm just going to cut this out with my pair of scissors. So after cutting, we have 4 corners that have this square shape. As you can see, I have it on all the 4 corners, on all of them. So next let's sew the corner openings, right sides facing each other. So I'm going to place the right sides facing each other, then I'm going to stitch on the wrong sides. I'm going to run a straight stitch over here. I'll do the same on all the 4 corners. So let me just take this to the sewing machine and run a stitch. So here we are. I'm just going to place the right sides facing each other, then we're going to start running a stitch. So after sewing, this is how it looks. I have all my 4 corners looking like this. So this is the first corner, then this is the second one, and the third and fourth one also look like so. You can as well finish up with the serger on the seams. So next let's hem and fold the sheet. So I'm just going to fold. Remember I said add seam allowance, more allowance for folding. So I'm going to, before hemming, I'm going to trim off the excess seam allowance. So just make sure at the corners remove the excess seam allowance, because it will make it easier for you to insert the elastic. If you don't trim off the excess seam allowance, it will be very difficult when inserting the elastic. So I'm just going to trim off these corners here. So now that we have trimmed off our corners, we can now continue folding and hemming the sheets. So I'm just going to run a stitch on this folded hem. So you need to leave an opening of about 1 to 2 inches for inserting the elastic. As you fold, don't fold everywhere. Leave about 1 to 2 inches like I have done, then continue stitching. So this is where we'll be inserting our elastic. So now let's insert the elastic. I'm going to be using my elastic. As you can see, I've already hemmed. So I'm going to be inserting my elastic over here with the help of a safety pin. This is what I'll be inserting with the help of a safety pin. So I'm just going to get my elastic, and the length of the elastic is 10 inches subtract from the circumference of the mattress. So I'm going to insert my safety pin in here, then I'm going to start putting it inside the hem. So I'm just going to start inserting it right here where I left an opening of 1 to 2 inches. So I'm just going to keep pushing it, and this is how it looks. Then you have to tie the two elastics and sew them. So this is what you have, and once you put it on our mattress, this is how it looks. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you found this video useful, subscribe and give it a thumbs up.